and we want the fans out of their seat. We want to score goals. We want to give them, momentum on our side, and then on the flip side is when we don't have the ball, is it we got to be dogs.
Some space for him. Low cross sent in towards the middle. Sarver turning, sets it up. Shot from Kaike, scores! And Dallas regained the lead, looking to avoid the wild card round altogether. Take their fate in their own hands. Straight out of the locker room, they lead 2-1.
Well, one more time, center back trouble for Vancouver. A little bit of a mess back there. Vancouver can't clear a ball cleanly. Kaike the right time, right moment. Sarver actually lays it back for him.
Another assist.
Good spot. Sarver.
Assist.
And as I like to do when I'm in the playoffs.
Scenes. There we go. Welcome, Colin. Welcome, everybody, to the Afterburn Soccer Show. Scenes. That's what we just witnessed as FC Dallas defeats the Vancouver Whitecaps in an emotional, physical affair up in the Northwest, the Canadian Northwest, to claim their spot, the 7th spot in MLS playoffs. Welcome, everybody, to the show. Of course, I'm Nathan. You can follow me at Afterburn Soccer on both Blue Sky and on X. And Mr. Couve is in. He's getting a moment here to join us. And I think it's just going to be the two of us. I don't think Jose is in a shape to have a conversation with us. He's relaxing, let's just say it that way. And Chris is out of town. So I'm going to do a follow-up with Chris at some point and have a kind of a post-mortem on the North Texas Soccer Club season. But we'll touch upon that briefly. But let's just start with FC Dallas. And Colin, I want to hear your comments. Of course, highlight the short of it is FC Dallas goes into Vancouver needing a victory or needing help to go their way in some other matches. But the victory, a win on the road is always the key, to control your own destiny. And, hey, for once the soccer gods smiled upon us and get a red card, which was the right decision on a long ball played to Sam Sarver, who is just on fire. The kid is on fire. Mm-hmm. The young man is on fire, maybe we say. And a right call. Maybe some folks want to quibble with it, but I think it's the right call and deserve it. And then a corner kick, ball comes to Osaze Urhoghide, and he heads it home to give FC Dallas the lead. And then Abubakar makes a kind of play that we've seen from him too often this season. A penalty, gives up a penalty, and Thomas Mueller gets an equalizer. But then Sam Sarver lays off a beautiful ball to Kaike, who slots it home, and FC Dallas holds on. A fierce and not an easy final 20 minutes of the game as FC Dallas holds on for a 2-1 victory. An emotional but huge win for the club in what has been a transition season. So, Colin, let's give us your reactions to this game.
So on decision day, it was very much a very aggressive, very you going in there to Vancouver, at the time first place team in the West, someone that was very aggressive all season, someone that came into Toyota Stadium, got a result. They've been very dominant all season, and like I said on last show, it's very, very much we're not getting a result here. We're not going to get a win. We're not even going to get a draw. I said we lost. And according to a bunch of Vancouver fans, we got the fix. The fix was in for FC Dallas. So funny how that was the excuse there. But I agree with you on the Sam Sarver call, the foul. I was sitting there watching it with my buddy who's an Austin fan, and he was sitting there the whole time, basically saying, "Oh, y'all gonna get a yellow card, no big deal." And I was like, "Brother, that's a red card all day long." And of course, he's like, "Oh, you're an FC Dallas fan, you're biased, like it's for your team." And sure enough, when the monitor went up, it was a red card. And I even said it was like one of those things where if it was my team, I'd be fighting all day. It's a yellow because the other defender's in position. But when the attacker's sitting there in a goal scoring opportunity to where the attacker can get either lay it off or score, that's part of the criteria now for denial of goal scoring opportunity. It's going to be a red card every day of the week. And of course, we scored the Urhoghide header, which, I mean, honestly just fell to him. I mean, no one else rose up above him. They jumped early. He was able to just sit there basically almost flat-footed and just redirect into the net. And then when it came to the Sam Sarver finish, it looked like he was laying it off for the person behind Kaike, and Kaike was just right place, right time, just slotted it home. Collodi deserves
Collodi.
so many awards. Pay that man double his salary demands right now. Because, no offense to Martin Paz, love the guy. I've chatted with him quite a bit. He's acclimated to Dallas. He loves Dallas and everything, but we have a number one in our hands in Collodi, and it's either going to be we transfer Paz Holly back to Europe for a good sum of money, or we trade Collodi for chips in game or TAM or whatever. And no offense, I'd much rather have Collodi at this point. I mean, Collodi has shown that he's not scared to come out for balls on crosses. He's aggressive in the air. Collodi is one of those goalkeepers where he has good shot stopping ability, but he has good reflexes. He's able to read the game, and 9 times out of 10 read a shot. Now, occasionally that comes with, him reading a shot that's going at the far post when the attacker goes near post. Like, there's times like that where we get scored on or concede with Collodi, and that's going to happen with every keeper. Even at the top of the top, they're going to get 1 or 2 shots predicted wrong. But Collodi is sitting there. I'm looking at that last save where Collodi tipped it and it barely went past the post. I'm not sure Paz makes that saves. So it's one of those things where I'd rather have Collodi too for the reach and everything on corners and coming for crosses and stuff, because Paz doesn't do that and just sits on his line. So yeah, it's one of those things. That game solidified for me. I was a big Collodi fan anyways, but that game 100% solidified Collodi as my 2026 day one starter. And he should be the starter of the rest of these playoffs. Unless he just, for some reason, has a shocker in Vancouver for game 1 or whatever. But that game, it showed me a lot about this team. It's a team that's not willing to give up no matter what. Everyone's we did look like we got dominated by Vancouver a little bit in that second half, but you also got to think we're a team on the road that's up a man, and we have a goal. We can be a little bit aggressive, which when we had the ball, we did go up the field and try to score and be aggressive, but you got to solidify those 3 points. Depending on how that table looked, I mean, Portland got absolutely thumped 4-0 and took their goal difference way below ours, to where we were able to get that second tiebreaker and not have to worry about a play-in game this Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Granted, it's at home, but we don't have to worry about that play-in game, and now we can advance and go on with our journey, and not have to worry about that. Get some extra rest under our legs and be ready for not this upcoming Saturday, but next Saturday, and we're good to go.
It's a massive result. It just and the storylines as you highlight with Michael Collodi emerging into this legitimate number one. And we love Martin Paz. He's been a good servant for the club. A nice signing, really, that raised some profile. Got some new fans, some Indonesian fans. Shout out to them. Appreciate all that love. But yeah, these storylines and the storyline of Eric Quill himself, who, points this season. We ask questions. He's coming from the USL Championship. He has history with this club. But yeah, does he have the chops to succeed at this level? And of course, a roster that has a lot of questions too. So we were giving him a pass in some areas, but just to see what he has done to get buy-in, to get support, to get this team feeling like a team, with a roster that still needs some work. Every FC Dallas fan is going to say, yeah, this roster has some holes. It's in transition. There's going to be some new faces next season. But to get these guys to fight for each other, to punch maybe even above their weight, or to punch at the level they're capable of, what a coaching a journey, what a coaching job it's been for Quill, and to get the spirit out of this team, I think that FC Dallas fans want to see, which is, we'd love to see a technical team that can score multiple goals and put these amazing passing sequences on displays. But if not, we want to see a team that's going to fight. That's going to be that gritty, hardworking spirit that reflects the city of Dallas and some of the teams in the past that have been amazing and fun to watch. So, yeah, it's just so many storylines like that. And, of course, probably the biggest storyline of all is Sam Sarver. I mean, it is Sam Sarver, and I think that's Colin. I'm just curious, will Sam Sarver start on Sunday? I mean, the kid is absolutely on fire. He helps North Texas get into the playoffs with a hat trick the previous weekend. He comes in and in this one and just plays his heart out, starting in the place of Logan Farrington and Petter Musa, who are both out with suspensions. And I think Colin, you're refreshing, I think. But this storyline of Sam Sarver, who, some say maybe isn't an MLS quality player, but the kid is making things happen. And I keep saying kid, and he's 23. He's a young man. He's intense. He's playing with fire. He's everything that fans want to see from FC Dallas signings. Here we go. All right, let's see. All right, you're back. See if that works. Yeah, we got you on here.
There we go. Holy.
What I can do. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so Sam Sarver. Oh, yeah, we're still getting a little feedback there, whatever it is. This kind of staticky, but we may just have to deal with it. Colin, what is your thought on that question? So Musa and Farrington are going to be back, available for selection. But do you go with the hot hand? Does Quill go like Sarver? Let's see what you can do with Musa. Or, Sarver can still play a great role off the bench. I don't think that's a bad spot for him either. But I don't know. I just don't know. And especially on the road where they're going to do a lot of defending. Vancouver is going to be out for blood, for revenge. Do you give Sarver the start on Saturday?
So for me, I think it's got to be, you got to roll him out, right? I mean, here's the thing. Delgado went out with a non-contact injury. So it's one of those things where we don't know if it's like a sprain maybe, or just a buckle, hyperextension, whatever it is. I think non-contact injuries aren't good, right? And Dallas obviously is not going to want to expose what the injury is or give Vancouver an advantage. So if I'm them, you look at how we played with Delgado this time. We put Delgado out wide almost and ran like a 3-4-3 against Vancouver. Farrington played earlier this season as like a winger /10 like we did last year with Jesus and Paul, and like when we played the 3-back with Nico, it was very much a 3 at the back with Jesus and Paul as 10s. So Logan in the offseason was playing a left mid role in the 4-2-3-1 and the 4-4-2 that Quill was rolling out every week. So Farrington got 100% play there, and Sarver is already naturally a right winger. So it's one of those things where you put Farrington back on the left, and then put Sarver on the right wing, and just go from there, man. Because it's one of those things where I don't think you can look at the team and be like, is it going to be much of a difference between Delgado playing as a 10 and Sarver out wide? I just don't see it. I mean, you can obviously get into a huge technical debate about having an actual 10, which Delgado, he played 8 for a while at Ajax and everything, and then played 6 for us, and now he's playing as a 10. It's like he can play anywhere in the midfield. He has his strengths and his weaknesses. But I think with how the team's built with Kappas and Kaike in the middle as like our DMs and like 8s that can advance the ball if they need to, why not have Sarver there on the wing, and then he's going to fight back and get back on defense. You're going to have Ramiro at right wing back, presumably. And have him play as like a center mid that he can back up Kaike and Kappas as well. And Kappas has showed he has the technical ability to play more forward. And I mean, worst case scenario, we have Paxton on the bench available. I believe Legette's back from and healthy, so they can both play 10. Very weird for them to both play 10 as they've been conditioned for 8s, but let's not forget when Leggett first got here, he had those 8 assists in a row in consecutive games, so he can definitely play as a 10 and provide. So, I mean, looking at it from a personal point of view and from a coaching point of view, I don't see how you can keep Sarver off the field as a starter if Delgado is hurt. Now, if Delgado is healthy and you want consistency and players who are in form, I could see keeping Delgado. But in my opinion, man, you got to start Sarver. You got to have a team that's willing to fight on the road, and if anything, start Sarver and then bench him for the home leg later on. Like, it's one of those things you gotta be ready to go all out, and you gotta be ready to fight and try and win this game because you only got 3 shots and you got to win 2 of them. So it's one of those things, and you also don't want to go in extra time in the first game and come back home to try and play a home leg after 120 minutes and all that travel and everything. So you got to start Sarver. You got to go for the win. You got to try and get out ahead on Vancouver early, and having Sarver and Farrington be able to supply and also get on the end of Moose long balls and be able to feed Moose in the middle on the after runs in behind. I don't see how he doesn't fit the bill, and he definitely deserves a start.
Yeah, I think it's something we'll be watching, and as well as the health of Delgado. I mean, I was even impressed by Pedrinho coming in and putting in a solid minutes for a young player, who hasn't had as many minutes with the first team, but Quill has taken a liking to him. So it was truly a team performance. It was a team performance, and you just want to see more of that on Sunday coming forward. Here's a little bit. Let's jump in and just hear a little bit of the audio from Eric Quill. I was able to send in a couple questions. We'll probably just do the first after the game in Vancouver.
We did the hard part of getting the first goal, and obviously disappointed to give up the goal, being up a man, and the type of goal it was. But to recover again, like we've done so many times this year, I was proud of the resiliency again. It shows itself up. And physically, late in the game, Diego, Nolan, everybody Josh, everybody was physically giving everything of themselves to battle to make sure tonight was a win. And I'm just really proud of that warrior type effort that they came in with.
Cool. And then last question.
Yeah, I love Quill giving that shout out there to some of these homegrown players getting minutes. Late. It was one of those question marks, like from fans. I mean, sometimes we have been watching this team, FC Dallas, kind of late, either not make subs at the right time, or having a limited bench to turn to of guys that they trust. And what a statement it was for Quill to go, we need fresh legs, and I trust these guys. I trust these kids who have been in the FC Dallas system for years, to go out and to fight and to battle, and to see Nolan, to see Josh Torquato, see these kids get some minutes. In fact, Diego Garcia, I think he got on a plane and went down to help North Texas the next day. Just a tremendous all around team effort, and a match that you could tell was physical in every respect and emotional, exhausting. I mean, just both teams were fighting for something, and so it just raises the bar for what to expect over these next couple of games. Yeah, and buddy Luke here at Horse God, thank God Sam didn't get sent to North Texas, because North Texas suffered without Sam Sarver. They couldn't do a darn thing, and they got some talented kids there, North Texas, of course, bowing out of the MLS Next Pro playoffs, losing 3-0 to Town FC. Opening goal given up was a corner kick, the kind of mental mistake the team has struggled with. The second goal was just an error, was an attempted clearance that went right into the net. It was just the bad luck that North Texas has seen this season. There's not a lot else to say. I mean, I've got some video pulled up. We could listen to Gall talk about it, because I think he's still bullish on these young players. Compared to the Town FC, North Texas is such a young squad against some more veteran players, but couldn't really just get it going. Couldn't really get their foot on the ball, and so it's just a disappointing opening round loss. But something that those kids can learn from, and some young players getting a little bit of MLS Next Pro playoff experience. But yeah, thank God that Sam would have helped. Maybe the game would have been a lot better for North Texas, but Quill, it's undeniable. This guy has something. He has something, and he has what FC Dallas needs right now. And there's not going to be any team that wants to go up against him. I mean, his touch on that ball to get it out of the defender's way. How many times have we seen a guy like Bernie Kamungo struggle on that touch, or not get that touch at points of the season when they're on a fast break? Sam Sarver, he had it, Okay. All right. Yeah, there's a lot of fire on display. That's right, I guess, Luke. But yeah, Sam Sarver, we're going to have to pay the kid again. We just signed him. We're going to have to pay him probably if he keeps doing this in the playoffs. I don't know. So many guys are getting contracts this offseason, and the team's going to have a lot of room to maneuver. But, Colin, we can't say enough about Osaze, can we? What a signing he has been. And we wonder if he had been healthier, all season long, how much this team would have been in a better position as well.
Something for me is, what would have happened if we didn't trade Coast and just pay the man what he wanted, the extra little bit of salary that certain other center backs, and including a center back we signed, is making more. It's just one of those things that's just mind-boggling to me about how much, you go and look back at North Texas SC and see how much Quill waves about Coast, and it's like, I know it's not a coach's decision on what happened there, but it's one of those things where I'm so salty about it because, that's my boy, right? I wanted him to be here until he retired. So it's one of those things where it's like, you look at the team now and how we want to play with that 3-back. Could you imagine, because we play in that 3-back, transitioned it to a 4-back. Could you imagine, could you imagine Coast being back there with Osaze? That's all I'm going to say. You cannot tell any FC Dallas fan that's actually watched Coast play with Ibiaga and Osaze and say that's the 3 center backs I want to roll out based on what we have. Obviously, you don't want Ibiaga there. We want to try and upgrade Ibiaga, but he's been serviceable this season. I've been a big hater on Ibi and Kumungo, and both of them have proved me wrong in the second half of the season. Ibiaga has proved me wrong throughout this season, barring 1 or 2 mistakes which people have made. And it's just one of those things. Urhoghide has been one of the best center backs in MLS this season when playing. He's one of those center backs that he's going to get the job done defensively. He's going to be able to track down. He's only been outpaced once this year, and that was literally a few games ago. This is also a guy who can bowl you off the ball, who can dribble past you. We've seen him multiple times get the ball in his own half and take it halfway up the pitch to lay it off to a winger. It's just one of those things where you got to look at the team and you got to be out there and be like, all right, Urhoghide is one of these players that you cannot lose track of as an attacker. You got to be always looking out for Urhoghide to either go around him or to go through him, and the latter is not a good one, good decision. But it's just one of the things, man. Urhoghide is one of the best center backs in this league. He's one of the best all-around center backs I've seen in MLS, period. And an amazing price tag. I would have paid almost double, if not triple, for a center back of that caliber to come to Dallas. It's what we've been missing since Hedges was let go, and since we traded away Walker Zimmerman. So Urhoghide is definitely the center back we need. We needed, and it's a center back I want to keep for a few years to come. Now, if we could hit this off season on another one, we'll be living life.
We will. Now, for what it's worth, Colin, a source I listened to recently just basically said that trade was mutual, that the bridges had been burned, and it was just what it is, and that sometimes happens. Sometimes happens in professional life, and so you wonder. But yeah, you wonder. But it is clear that Ibeagha, I doubt he's going to be around. I mean, like you, I've had my criticism at that price point. Maybe as that fifth option, if you need a veteran guy and he's willing to take a lower price point, you can say, hey, but I think they're going to definitely be looking to fill that spot come end of the year. So I'm already going to be watching to see these end of year roster decisions, to see kind of the diamond in the roughs out there that maybe FC Dallas can reclaim somebody. By the way, Sasha Kleston, I had this little clip that kind of went semi-viral, I guess, that FC Dallas is where players go for their careers to end or whatever, a place where careers go to die. But I don't know, Sasha. I mean, FC Dallas is not probably on the top list. If you had a choice between going to LA or New York City to play soccer, or Miami, you're probably going to go with those options. But in Dallas, has been a little bit of a team that maybe hasn't been able to attract the big talent. But look at the talent we have produced across this league. And the talents we're still producing of guys who are getting an opportunity and are showing that they have something to share with the world. Kaike, only one of the latest ones. Sam Sarver, Osaze. Shaq Moore has been great, very solid, and I think he could be that third center back if we stay with that option. We got a legacy here that we're gonna continue to enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah, man. FC Dallas place where careers go to die, but yet we developed Weston McKennie, Pepe, Tessman. Moose has been on fire. Shaq Moore's had a resurgence in the same league in MLS. But yeah, we kill careers here, and we don't develop anybody. We provide nothing. Not like over half of the U.S. men's national team in the summer was FC Dallas Academy products or played in the Dallas area. But it's FC Dallas, man. Lucho Acosta's a big name MVP, and MLS were on their knees for him, hoping he'd stay in the league. He did, and he didn't perform well. So FC Dallas, just because his little prediction of us not making playoffs wrong means that's where careers go to die. So, yes, Sasha also is just one of those people that should have retired probably 3 or 4 years earlier in his career, because he did absolutely nothing with his last 4 years of his career with the Galaxy. So I'd be a little bit salty too if I went to LA for money and my career ended up in the shitter and died too. But not my professional career, so not my decision to waste it there. So
that's right.
You
trying to get out of the sun here, but I'm with you. I'm, as many, and Edwin Cerrillo, Ryan Hollingshead, all these guys who have, and if anything, FC Dallas's problem has just been not having things come together at the right time, and which with coaching changes, with some bad injuries here and there, and just they've had so much quality that has gone on across the league to make a difference. And heck, Dante Seeley, who probably had a resurgent season there in Montreal, good for him, and another talented guy come through FC Dallas, and it just didn't quite work. Didn't quite work. Those bridges also burned, and it just sometimes players need an opportunity to take the next step somewhere else, regardless of where they are now, and that's just the reality of soccer. It's the reality of this league. Well, let's I'll do some follows with North Texas, post some video as one of the big questions for North Texas will be, can they find that replacement for Sam Sarver within this team? And you got young talent like Sam Seda and others who I think need that time to develop. So I'm bullish on them and a new stadium that they're going to be in next season. So North Texas losing the first round of the playoffs, disappointing, but it's a young team. They're going to bounce back. They're going to look for some fresh faces to come in and compete. FC Dallas has just gotten some bargains in the super draft as of late. So look for maybe a player or two there to get a shot with North Texas. And FC Dallas, meanwhile, begin the first leg of a potential 3-game series. Obviously, I think so. If FC Dallas loses the next 2 games, there's no third game. So they've got to get a result here. And I know it gets a little different among playoffs. And draws. I think things get a little bit more complicated, but let's say FC Dallas get a draw this weekend. It just raises the stakes for what's possible. But I'm hoping, and I think that's where we're going to end the show tonight with our predictions for this Saturday up in Vancouver. FC Dallas first leg of this 3-game potential playoff series. It's It's 3 games. It's just 3 weeks of playoff action. It's just wild. But let's just do our predictions. I mean, I know Vancouver is going to be mean. They're going to be nasty. They are going to want revenge. But Vancouver is going to be missing a starting center back, and they were already thin on center backs. I think they're going to have a tough time against Musa, who is going to be fully rested and ready to break that single season scoring record for FC Dallas. So I'm very bullish on this. I think it's going to be a tough match. I think a draw is very, very likely. A multiple goal draw, like a 2-2, 3-3. But I'm going for a repeat. I'm going for a 2-1 victory for FC Dallas. It's going to be, there's going to be some VAR. There's going to be some moments. But I am just liking how this team is feeling about themselves. And I think Musa is going to be a handful for the Whitecaps. What are your thoughts on this weekend's match?
I think it's going to be, like you said, a 2-1 win or a 1-0 win. And the reason I say 2-1 or 1-0 is because we 100% just needed a win, and we got out. And it's a team that, no matter what on the road, has gotten a result. I mean, we only lost one game in the last 10, last 11. So it's one of those things where we 100% like we're ready to go. We know the mission. We've already done it once. Granted, Vancouver didn't have Brian Wright up top. They didn't have Gauld on the field, which I don't know if they will put Gauld on the field because him and Musa are very similar. Muller, not Musa. And unless you put maybe Muller up top at striker, but I don't think you would with him being a really good playmaker. We'll have Musa and Farrington again. We'll actually have a decent attack instead of pace of Julio and just the bullish, some technical ability of Sarver. And I think it's going to be one of those games where it's going to be really tight at the back again. FC Dallas is going to have to be careful with what they do, whether it's Shaq Moore playing center back and Abubakar's bench or it's Ibiaga bench and Abubakar starts again. They got to be careful. You got to make that call to make that defensive sub. If we're up 1-0 in the 60th minute, this is playoffs. You got to make your subs and tactical changes and solidify them early. You can't sit. Quills has a tendency to try and wait it out and make the first mistake tactically with subs, and that's a great strategy in the regular season where you can try and pull off a quick point grab or 3-point grab and run. This is a playoff where the games matter now. Like, every win counts. So you have to sit here and you have to get those wins when you can and where you can. And FC Dallas is going to have to get that win on the road in Vancouver again. They've done it once. Granted, a red card in VAR helped us get the result the first time. But you got to get that result the second time. And, I mean, Quill's game plan was great. It worked out. So it's one of those things is something my dad always said, same song but second verse. So let's just get back out there, do it again. We're good to go. And I think it's going to be one of those. It's going to be a good game regardless. But I think we get we squeak it out with a 1-goal result, whether it's 1-0 or 2-1.
All right. Well, there you have it. Well, Colin, thanks for joining. We missed Jose. We'll sort of be following up with Jose, and see what his thoughts were. But I know he's just enjoying himself, and Chris on vacation. So we'll be following up with those guys too, and maybe looking at trying to do a pre-game playoff show on the weekend. We'll see if that works with my schedule, but it might be fun to do and jump on and see if we can invite a special guest or two and talk about what's ahead for this team. But the season continues for FC Dallas. North Texas is over. A lot of post-season, off-season content coming in the coming days. We kind of break down where the roster is and what we're looking forward to. But for FC Dallas, we get to keep enjoying some soccer for the next few weeks. And let's hope it continues. Who knows? This team can make noise. All right. Thanks, Colin. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
All right. I was forgetting that time of year, the time of the light just